Social Security is projected to run out of money by 2033. Most millennials and Gen Z have already given up on the idea of potentially receiving their full benefits, if any benefits at all. But baby boomers and Gen X are either already receiving Social Security or they are planning on receiving it relatively soon. This has obviously created a political problem. We have all these entitlements that hardworking Americans have paid into, but the money has been mismanaged and the federal government is $36 trillion in debt. The current Social Security Trust Fund holds about $2.79 trillion in unmarketable U.S. Treasury securities, which is basically just a special government bond. These bonds pay roughly a market rate of return, which is likely not even outpacing inflation over the last decade. This seems like a pretty unfixable situation, but I think there's a viable solution. And the solution is Bitcoin. If the United States has the privilege of being the world's reserve currency, then while that is the case, there will be a massive amount of demand for our government debt. This is the only reason why the US has actually been able to borrow $36 trillion without massive inflation. If the world reserve currency status was being threatened by another country's currency or a newly discovered digital money, then what would be the best strategy? Well, it would be use your temporary advantage that is dwindling away to go where the rest of the world is about to go before the rest of the world goes there. If Bitcoin is a perfectly scarce, censorship-resistant, highly portable monetary tool, and it is objectively the best monetary tool due to its superior monetary properties, then it's a no-brainer to use your reserve currency status to buy the new world reserve currency before everybody else does. What better way to start this than by moving the Social Security Trust Fund into Bitcoin, preventing the fund from bankruptcy, and locking in retirement security for generations to come? Moving just 4.3% of the fund would buy up to 2 million Bitcoins, or $120 billion at today's market price. Of course, this would likely send the price of Bitcoin much higher, but using $120 billion to try and accumulate at least 1 million Bitcoin would likely fortify Social Security for generations to come. Just 1 million Bitcoins multiplied by Michael Saylor's base case of 13 million per coin in 2045 would be about $13 trillion. That's almost 5x the entire size of the Social Security Trust Fund today. Now, of course, this wouldn't be easy to implement. It would require legislation changes, but it is highly logical. Retirement savings should be in safe assets, particularly safe assets that are actively being monetized, not safe assets that are actively being unmonetized, like US Treasuries. Bitcoin is a risky short-term asset due to its extreme volatility, but it is one of the safest long-term assets you can hold. It has no dilution risk and no counterparty risk. This is superior to all other monetary and financial assets today. So Trump or Kamala, if you're watching this and want to fortify Social Security for generations to come, please DM me and let's get this plan moving.